All right, welcome to episode, I think we're now on to like 9 of the classroom, which we've been going all through this second, third or fourth lockdown. I can't remember which one it is. And you can clearly tell by the state of JP's hair and facial hair. He's gone from looking kind of clean cut to caveman.
Goat.
To a goat.
Yeah, he looks like a billy goat.
The thing is, I got no comeback for this because it's just like, what can I do? Like,
mate, that's what, funny enough, which is why I didn't waste that on the bit before to give you time to think about it. I was coming at you. See, Wayne's got a hat always connected to his head, so it doesn't matter.
If you see what's underneath here, you'll cry.
And as long as he's always had the same haircut, never seems to get longer or shorter, so that doesn't surprise. So I can't really get you. Corey looks like when Jonah Hill went for a rough patch.
What do you mean the entire 30 years of his first life? Like first 30 years of his life even? Cheers. I said this to my mum the other day in the supermarket. I was like, from 2 years ago, I've aged 8 years. Like, how does that happen?
All right. So, yeah, like I said, this is episode 9. It's been a long couple of weeks, which has been, and this has sort of been a plus side, I know, for me to sort of have after work and now, and especially getting to chat with you guys. We've had all sorts of episodes and different types, and this one's going to be, as we come to the middle part of our year in the NBA, we're going to give out our mid-season sort of awards, and that's going to be based on what's happened previously. We won't take in that, where will they finish up? It'd be what we've seen this year, and we'll get into that in a bit. So, Donna, we've sort of seen a bit of everyone, but I'm just going to check in with everyone. JP, how are we doing? How's your week been?
I'm good, mate. Obviously, this week is Cheltenham as well, so obviously after call we were talking about that. So it's been a good day for that. But apart from that, yeah, just same old with work, and you know how it is during lockdown.
Yeah, man, I get you. But yeah, it's been a decent week so far. Wayne, how are you? How was work last week? I know you missed the call, but how are you?
Well, I don't want to talk about work last week because it was a bit hectic. But I'm on annual leave, so I've got a smile on my face. Maybe get my feet up.
Nice. Yeah, I can't blame them, mate. I got half term next week. Can't wait for that. Corey, then, how are you doing, pal?
Yeah, sort of things to look forward to. I'm starting playing football again in a couple of weeks when that's all going. So get back 7-a-side and then hopefully 11-a-side as soon as I can. And obviously we spoke before, I'm a couple of kilo down as well. So yeah, starting to sort of change my diet up, get a bit healthier, get back to doing what I love.
Decent. What football team you coming back this way?
No, well, I am going to come down and play a couple of games for Rovers hopefully. But no, it's one of the teams up here, and the Norfolk leagues aren't quite as skilled or talented. So my local team is in one of the first divisions in Norfolk, and they are no better than Rovers' first team. So, in fact, they're nowhere near as good as Rovers' first team.
Do they make football boots with 7 toe holes up there?
I'll have to ask them. I'm not from here.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, no, absolute snake for joining another team, but that's cool. Yeah, for me, being a busy week again, back at work. I've got football coming up as well. First game back, 2nd or 3rd of April. Got a couple of games in a row, which will be decent to get back to. And funny enough, probably talk about on here. Before we get going, our sponsor sent us a jumper, sent me a jumper. Their extra large would probably be small and Wayne. So I might need to get back hold of them and say, wow, it's tight. Let's put it that way. I'll put it on. I had to wedge it back off. It's hard work, and we'll
no hope of me and JP modelling them then.
Mate, I actually was going to wear it and then thought I kind of need to breathe, so I'm not going to do that.
Feel free to send me. I don't need to breathe.
Yeah, no, Wayne. I'm not going to lie. It'd be too small. It's that tight. Not all built like me, but come on. And then we've also got other sponsors. I'm just looking here. Yeah. So we'll change that the way we've done previous weeks. Normally we go in a review of the games that we had last week, and we picked the Lakers. The first game was the Boston Celtics at Brooklyn Nets, and then Indiana at LA. Instead of us talking about it, and we've got quite a long, shouldn't be too long of a show tonight with our picks, wanting more time on that, we're just going to have a brief chat about how it's ended up in the standings rather than the actual games themselves. So just to let you know, Boston lost to Brooklyn, and then LA beat Indiana, which has left Mel this week. When as I put in the group, as in the post, an outrageous call as you look at it now of Boston beating Brooklyn. However, watching that game, there was no hope from the first tip. It didn't matter how close that got. There was no hope in Boston winning that. I think Jason Tatum was the only one in green who showed up. So that didn't go down well for me. And then on the flip side, Corey, who's had abundance of L's in this competition, has bagged himself 100% along with JP and Wayne, going 2-0, picking Brooklyn and also picking LA. And all four of us went with a clean sweep with the LA Lakers. And I mean, watching LeBron and the way that team is just built right now, it's a joke in terms of they're coasting. They don't have to play well to win. So that's, again, and I know we've spoken about this a lot, and we speak about it on Zoom and also in our group chat. We truly believe that it's going to be a Brooklyn final, and for LA they need to be start picking up some bigs at least that are knocking about on free agent or on the free agent, the wave list. Just before we've come on, guys, I've just seen another trade go down or be in the sort of pipeline of Myers Leonard, who had his hell of a week, heading to Oklahoma, and Miami picking up Trevor Ariza, which is actually another version of them picking up Iguodala, and that's a team. I think that's sort of saying we can defend Giannis even better than we have done, and probably help them out later on if they get to Philly as well. Just to pick up on the shirt I'm wearing, this is going to come into white later on in one of my picks. It's LeBron Miami Heat, the first year he went, so that's 2012. And yeah, it's quite a big fit actually. It's when Adidas went really big on the shoulders. Like I don't like that weird feeling. So that's our quick sort of review of the competition. Anyone want to say anything? Wayne, as leading and have been leading for a while. Wayne, how are you feeling about it?
I'm just waiting for someone to catch up with me, to be honest. You know, I don't condone gambling, but you're not losing right now.
JP, now drawn level with me in second place with 8.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm pretty hopeful and optimistic for the future as well, considering, you know, I'm the one that calls the shots in what games we pick. So, you know, hopefully that works in my favour down the line and I'll come up clutch in the second half of the season. And
I'd like to say, just before we go, Corey, you seem to have that advantage. And I was going to say it's a disadvantage for 3, where it's now a disadvantage for 2, because I know there's some secret colluding going on there with you and Corey for this week's one. So, Corey, now you're back off, well, still in the bottom, but not too far off this time now. How are you feeling?
Hold on. Let's clear up that secret colluding going on. It was on the group chat.
What?
It's no secret. It was on the group chat.
Hang on, when did this happen?
What, 2 days ago?
I've put down this week's previews in the chat.
All right,
yeah, there's no secrecy going on here.
What time did that happen?
Probably like 2 a.m. when like normal people are asleep.
No, you did that at 4:45. I'm a busy man. I've got to be working.
Yeah, see, look, there's no secrecy going on here. And to be honest, mate, I feel good because I feel like the pressure's off me now. So if I make a bold statement pick that no one else does and it wins, then I'm back in the game. If I don't and it doesn't come in, then I'm not losing anything because I'm in last anyway. So I'm quietly relaxed now. I'm not stressed anymore.
Wow, I've got to apologise. We seem to when I said the other week, this doesn't happen often. I don't get much wrong. I have missed the games. I've got them here now, and it gives me opportunity to actually pick mine prior. And it makes sense why.
No secrecy. You know, there's no way JP wants me to win, is there?
No, he's happy just to beat you. I think JP's more than happy to finish 3rd, as long as you're 4th.
That sums up JP's life, though, doesn't it?
No. Let's get it out. You don't really get anything for finishing 1st, and you know, there's more that outweighs coming last than coming, you know, 2nd or 3rd. So I'm really not bothered.
Don't beat one person.
I just want to know who's going to be the best loser, because I'm going to be 1st, so I want to see who's the best loser.
Mate, Wayne, I'm telling you now, I'll give it 2 weeks. I'll be up there at the top. Telling
You've
you.
got to remember, there's going to be points. There's going to be more points to grab than 2 each week. There's going to be playoff games. There's going to be all sorts of stuff happening, and that's when I'm going to come up and I'm going to ruin you all. I sat there till 6 a.m. every night watching the playoffs last year, and I'll do it again just to win.
And you think I didn't?
I won't be because some of us actually have to have a real job. What you know about it? We're gonna sort of change up how we've done this. That was our sort of review of the games. Guys, go watch them. Let us know what you think when you had that. What you took from that as well, from people that watch the episode. Now we're gonna talk about some mid-season awards. So I've scrapped sixth man of the year. I think that's a hard thing to do at the first half because normally, as you see throughout the year, the sixth man in the sort of first half ends up finding some starter minutes, and it you can't really take a full judgment until the end of the year. And I also think a massive part of the sixth man is what they do, getting a team into a playoff bracket or higher up a seed. So I think actually the sixth man award is kind of hard to do so far. So we scrapped that. And I also thought that'd be way too many things to talk about. So what we're going to do, we are going to talk about Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved. Then we go in Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, and then Most Valuable Player. And that, again, for that first half of the season. So up until the start, which was December 22nd, up until now. And I know some people have taken different looks at it, but we won't be really talking about, at the end, because of a narrative, it will be at the end. It's what we see of the season. I'm going to kick things off with Defensive Player of the Year. I love this category, and it's one of my favourite categories in in sort of the award ceremony when it happens, because it highlights some players that I think deserve an opportunity to be highlighted. So I've picked three that I think from the first half of the season, and actually all three are out of Eastern Conference. So my first pick is a big Miles Turner. And I know my view on Rudy Gobert previously winning it goes down because, yes, you're that big. What else do you bring to your team? And it sort of baffles me when I look at people like Miles Turner and Miles Turner and think, why is he not in that conversation more of big talents who are centers who are taking away that or making that position their own? And I'm just going to read us some stats, and I'm not a massive stats fan, but when I look at Miles Turner, his total rebounds are around 7 a game. His steals are 1 per game, and he's averaging a league high of 3.4 blocks a game. Like that, you've got a guy there walking into every game getting 7 boards, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. That, no matter what, in a cornerstone as a big, who actually in Indiana, yes, Sabonis plays the 4, but he's not overly big himself. So there's going to be times when Turner's the only big really out there for Indiana. I think that those numbers are really quiet and under the radar, and I'm really impressed with. And I also think the biggest statement I have for when I watch basketball and my point of view on people is the eye test. And I watch Turner, and what I see in Turner, I saw in a younger DeAndre Jordan, the way he seems to know what the other team are running. So Miles Turner's one of my picks. And actually, when we get to the voting, I think Miles is at the bottom of mine, and I'm going to go through them. But Miles is a hell of a player. My other one, I think, is if you're looking at ESPN, Sports Center, all those sorts of areas, who seems to be the number one runner for the Defensive Player of the Year vote, which is Ben Simmons. And before going into Simmons, is one of a handful of players who can defend 1 through 5, but be as good as defending any of those positions. Like we say, there's players that can defend 1 through 5. Anthony Davis is, yes, he can defend through 1 through 5. However, him defending against a 4 is definitely better than when he defends a 1. So there's levels in his defense. I watch Ben Simmons and go, I can't see a fault against anyone who he has to defend. I think his actual defensive ability is a joke. He won the steals. He had the most steals last year, and I think he's again leading it this year with, I'm just got here, 1.5 steals a game, just under 1 block a game, and 8 rebounds a game for a 6'9", 6'10" point guard who has to run the offense and then defend the other team's best wing player. And I talk about a lot in this league is we have so many guards and wing players that he's got to defend and pick up some of the best players in the league. And he always outdo that battle. I never see of a player dropping 40 on Ben Simmons or 30 on Ben Simmons. It doesn't seem to happen. So he is definitely up there for Defensive Player of the Year. And then my third option, and I'm going to get your guys' opinion in a moment, is someone who I absolutely love. I love everything player, and it's also why I'm rocking the Miami Heat jersey, is Jimmy Butler. He, again, passes the eye test. Defensively, I'd never see any faults. And I can't remember if this stat has continued, but about 2 years ago, there was a stat knocking around that him and Kawhi used to have like more steals than they ever did fouls. And it's a joke, and I will have to find it to bring up next week. I couldn't find it earlier. But like he, again, I never see him back down from a challenge one. And I don't mean in a Pat Beverly way where he looks like a little child who's someone's nibble. I mean a proper defender in Jimmy Butler who does everything. And he's got, Ben Simmons isn't leading the league, but Jimmy Butler's got 2.2 steals a game, along with just under 8 rebounds and then just under 1 block a game. And that is coming from a big 2-guard and an undersized small forward. So no matter who he does pick up, and he normally picks up the best player on the court for the other team. Again, I never see anyone get the better of Jimmy Butler. And that's not just because of the amount of points he gets. I just never see them score or get an easy bucket on Jimmy Butler. I think, for me, Jimmy Butler is showing he is an elite defender, and him and Ben Simmons, the last guard to win Defensive Player of the Year, were last two that off the top of my head were MJ and Gary Payton. I think as an elite defender, Butler and Simmons deserve to be in that bracket. So I'm going to go over to you guys. I want to hear your view as an overview, and then who are you taking? So JP, I'm coming to you first. What's your overview of my picks? And then who is your Defensive Player of the Year for the first half of the season?
The overview of the 3 picks is that, going with 2 small, well, it depends how you class Ben Simmons, really. But as you mentioned, defensively, he can guard all 5 positions. But, I look at him when he's defending the 4 and the 5, he does obviously come off as a small player. But with that in mind, I do like also looking at the stats as well. I am 50-50 when it comes to being a stat man, and as you mentioned, the eye test also comes into it. So for me, it is between Jimmy Butler and Ben Simmons. Now, with Ben Simmons, what I like about his game is that he's more of a defensive guy than an offensive guy. He's still working on that 3-point shot. He's still trying to get to know his jumping rhythm and that shooting rhythm. But Jimmy Buckets, for me, has to be Defensive Player of the Year. What he does for that Miami Heat team and how he contributes defensively, you can see it has an after effect and a domino effect on other players around him. He's the core of that team. He's a leader of that team. And just that defensive mindset that is installed in that Miami Heat team through, Coach Spoelstra, it wears off on the team, and it's spread around, and it's something that becomes like a habit, and it's more, well, how can I put this? It's more important than actually offense at certain times of games. And so for me, out of the 3, it has to be Jimmy Butler.
Okay, one for JB. Wayne, I'm coming to you. What's your overview, and then who you taking?
Yeah, I'm quite surprised at the 3 people you've picked, because you usually see like a lot of bigs being the Defensive Player of the Years and stuff. But I think out of the 3, the best defender there is like Ben Simmons. As you guys said, it's just the ability to guard 1 to 5, and you said that he doesn't. out of the positions he can guard, he guards them all equally very, very well. I feel like the only position he will struggle to guard against the top players will be the center position. But you know, he's not going to need to guard them all the time because you know you got Joel Embiid at the same time, like next to him. But you know, as a point guard, if Ben Simmons is the other side, he's the point guard of the team. It's just kind of like, how do you go up against someone who's 6'10" and he plays your position, and he's going to be going up against guys who are 6'3"? You know, he's in a massive advantage. He's quick, he's athletic, he's explosive, and he can react very, very well. So I don't see how he's not the defensive player of the year.
Okay, one for Ben Simmons. Corey, what's your take? Who's your pick?
To me, yeah, it goes down to the guards. It's no secret that the two guards are leading the way this year. Watch Ben Simmons play, watch Jimmy Butler play. Again, they're exciting on both ends of the court. Both two players that just love playing basketball. But as much as I think Ben Simmons will probably be the one to win it, as he's always kind of come into the league as a league favourite, I'm going to go against that, and I'm going to go for the man who, in Jimmy Butler, you as a team, you look at Jimmy Butler, and he would run through a wall for his team. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He plays with that sort of caged aggression that makes him so unbelievably good. And he's the type of man that I want to see go somewhere and do something big with his career, which he already has done. But I just want to see him take that next step. But for me, for the pure fact of his sort of caged aggression and how vital he is to that team and how much he brings up the morale of that team with his defense, for me, it's got to be Jimmy Butler.
So we got 2 for JB. See, mine's a hard one. When I'm picking this, I definitely have my 2 certains. And Miles Turner was the add-on. And that's no discredit to Miles Turner, because I'm sure he doesn't care what I think. But when I think about it, I go back to 2008. Kevin Garnett won the year. The Boston Celtics won the league. I won the chip. And I always felt that was because they needed to give Boston something to go, like that. Paul Pierce was never going to win MVP of the league. They never had a 6th man. And I think they felt, okay, we need to give them something. And I think Jimmy Butler's going to fall into that category. And I would love to see Jimmy Butler end the year with Defensive Player of the Year. However, I don't see it happening. And I think because I went with Ben Simmons saying, I think he can defend all 5 at an elite level, for me, the Defensive Player of the Year, and I said this at the beginning, the person whose category is their vote gets a decider when it comes to an equal split. I'm going to take Ben Simmons, which gives Ben Simmons the classroom's Defensive Player of the Year for the first half of the season. But it's a very tight one because back ahead, through all of your talking, I'm sat here going, do I go Butler? Do I go Simmons? It was like I couldn't decide before.
I think the league will give it to Simmons, but Butler is one player deserving of it. But I know you're also a huge Ben Simmons fan, regardless.
Yes.
And also, I think something I didn't touch on there when we were talking about stuff. The way basketball goes now, it's positionless basketball is what they play. Like from the traditional 1 to 5 of your guard 6'2" to your centre being 7-footer. That whole game has changed, and I think Ben Simmons really epitomises that positionless basketball. And again, it's so important to his team because he will go, right, I'll take that guy. I'll take that guy. And you can put him in the post and he will defend someone that's 3-4 inches bigger than him and he'll do it well. So I do think he's going to win it. But yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
On that.
You know how I feel about Ben Simmons. So there's not much people can say about him that I could argue for. I love Ben Simmons because he's a point guard who can't shoot. Of course I love him. We're now going to go down. So Ben Simmons wins that award, first of all, for mid-season. I'll send it in the post, Ben. Keep your eye out. We're now going to go down to Wayne for most improved player from the first half of the season. Over to you. You get the deciding vote. You take over. Over to you, pal.
Okay. So this was quite difficult for me to put up because there's quite a lot of players who've really improved from last year. You know, I've definitely snubbed a few, maybe 3, 4, 5 players on this list. But one of the players I feel that made a really big jump was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the OKC. Last year, he averaged 19.4, just under 5 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 34 from 3 and 47 from the field, which is pretty good. But he had Chris Paul on the side and stuff like that. So I feel like Chris Paul really helped him out to make that jump, because now when he's gone, he's now averaging 23 points, 5.9 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 51% from the field and 41 from the free, which is like a massive jump. And his team right now is not really doing well, but individually he's really, really improved. And from what I want to see from him, just like make that the next step of like, you know, taking lead of the team and, you know, improving his team record-wise, because his team right now is 17 and 23, which is terrible, but it's in the West. And the second person is Jeremy Grant. Or what's his name? Jeremiah Grant.
Yeah, Jeremiah. Yeah, I know the one you're about, the Pistons guy.
Yeah. My goodness, he made a massive jump. Like last year, he was averaging 12 points, 3.5 rebounds, 1.2 assists. And right now, he's sitting on 23.4 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists on shooting on 43% from the field. And those numbers alone speak for itself. And I know a lot of people don't really watch the Pistons, but when you do watch them, like you can tell he's been taking like kind of command in terms of, you know, like scoring and just his presence when he's playing. The Pistons play better when he's on the court rather than off the court. However, the record is awful. Like they're 10 and 29 or something like that. But, you know, again, kind of like Shay, I want to see him, you know, besides improving individually, I want to see him how he's gonna, you know, improve the team that future on, because, you know, he did get that contract. Like, he got his money, so, you know, now the next step is, you know, to improve the team and stuff. And out of the three, you know, I feel like everyone can agree like that this person has definitely improved, and that is Julius Randle. You know, his team right now is sitting on 20 and 21 as a New York Knick. I'm not a New York Knicks fan, but, you know, as a New York Knicks fan, you'd be very, very excited to see a team sitting in the 8th seed in the playoffs being led by Julius Randle. Right now, he's averaging 23 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 5.8 assists, sorry, shooting 47 from the field and 41 from free. You know, like, those are all-star numbers, and that's why he deserved that all-star voting, because, damn, he's playing out of his mind right now. Like, his numbers just jumped from every, like, category, from the points. Last year, he was averaging 19.5, 9.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists. And from the free, he really, really drastically improved. He's shooting he shot 27% last year, and I was on 41. So I feel like out of the three, he's probably my most improved. But it's up to you guys what you think.
So Wayne, that's your point there on Julius Randle. We'll go one there. JPM, and come to you.
That's a tough one for me. They're all good. All three of them are good picks. But I'm just gonna come out and say SGA. He's on another level for me. You know, even under Chris Paul's wing, when Paul was in OKC, you could see the guidance he was getting off the vet. But, you know, he was still making clutch shots even though CP3 was around. And he's kind of like almost spread his wings a bit this season. And as Wayne mentioned, you know, he wishes to see him take more control of the team. But I feel like he's starting to do that. He's starting to control the team a lot more, especially at a young age as well. And, you know, he's shooting 41 from free. So, you know, I can't really argue with that sort of numbers for his sort of age as well. So I'm going SGA.
Yeah, big player. I'm going to go with mine first and then jump over to Corey. So these three, yeah, I'm glad when we did the awards, you picked this one, Wayne, or like you were happy to do it, because I sort of would have struggled because I haven't really paid too much attention to some of the sort of sleepers in the league.
There was a lot of improved players this season.
Yeah, no, and imagine, and don't worry, in my head I had other people, and all three I forgot about. I'm not going to lie, and I love all three of your choices. SGA, I'm a huge fan. I was a fan of him at the Clippers, and then I get the idea of getting rid of him for Paul George, and I think OKC have come up trumps, and I think they've got a future point guard who will be a top 10 in the league, like at some point in his prime. I thought what we saw from Grant in the bubble was unreal last year with, and you could see that sort of rise he was going on. And again, I think unfortunately for him, I think that's just the unfortunate thing that lets him down, being like a big fish in a small pond type thing. But I'm going to have to go Julius Randle. I think, and I said this on a previous show, I I've never been a fan or liked watching the New York Knicks.
Nobody does. Not even Knicks fans like watching the Knicks.
And up until this year, I love watching New York. And Julius Randle is one of the main reasons. And he played like he should be a top 15, top 20 talent in the league. It's unreal. I'm a huge fan. So yeah, I'm going Julius Randle for my pick. So that's 2 for Randle, 1 for SGA. Corey, over to you.
Yeah, same goes really. So I've sort of gone out my way to watch Knicks recently, which I never thought I'd see myself doing. But it was after a stat line. I posted a stat line in the group the other night, and Julius Randle went 26, 12, and 12. And to be honest, yeah, I understand that Alexander's taking it on his back, and same with Jeremy Grant really. But they are in a sleeper team where nobody cares what they do. Whereas Knicks are now a team that look like they're reforming. They've got Emmanuel Quickley. They've got RJ Barrett, obviously 2 people that are fresh into the league. And now you've got Julius Randle, who's, to be honest, it was about 3 or 4 years ago. He had a summer where he cut and trained and just went hard. And now he's found himself in a team and a system that fits him. And he's kind of become the big piece in it. But it's not all about him. And to be fair, I think that's part of the reason I'm going to go with Julius Randle as well, because he does it on both ends of the court. He takes it upon himself, as well as being able to bring his other teammates into it. So as you said, for a guy that's playing at the 4 at 6'9", 6'10", to be getting the amount of assists that he is and hitting the threes and playing off the top of the key and then also playing in the post as well, his whole game has improved everywhere, to be honest. Yeah. So for me, yeah, it's Julius Randle.
See, I've been watching him since he was in like a Kentucky, and because I've been a big Julius Randle fan like since he was like before the draft. And if you watched his games in like Kentucky, all he did was literally drive left, because the lefty always drive left, a little hook shot or a little drive layup. He didn't have a jump shot. He barely had a post move. He definitely couldn't shoot a free. And like now, you seeing him now, he's
silky with it.
Yeah, he's improved drastically. And like,
he's got moves.
It's like, to me watching him as fans, like, you kind of like, wow, like I didn't think he'll be this type of player right now, and it's quite amazing.
Yeah, I really do think, and I'm going to touch on the Knicks at some point later, but I think Julius Randle is a well-deserved pick for most improved. And actually, again, when I think of Julius Randle this year, because of how well he's playing, I didn't think about him most improved. Normally, and which is why I struggle with that category. Because I go to those who are doing it a little bit better. Like, yeah, they've done well. Like, they're doing okay. I wouldn't have gone to Julius Randle, and Julius Randle has been a hell of a player, so that's a great thing. Again, we'll send that to Madison Square Garden. I've just thought of it now. I'm going to make a little certificate.
Let's not send it actually, because all we've done is sit here and slate the Knicks. So if there's one team that are really not going to like this show, it's definitely the Knicks.
No, they haven't. Mate, you go back 2 episodes when I showed my favourite teams to watch. They were 3rd on that list or 4th, and they've got more love coming their way. I'm a huge Knicks fan. And Tibbs, if you want to give me a 10-day, you can. It's that point in the show where we get bed for 10 days. I can definitely play that role.
And I just hope
you know it's a Tibbs team, yeah, when they're sitting 6th in the defensive ranking right now. The Knicks sitting 6th in the defensive ranking.
They held 76ers last night to 99 points. 76ers was averaging 115 points a game this season. They held them and they lost 99-96 last night. Good game to watch. There was a lot of missed shots, but it's one of those teams now where you can kind of go, well, actually, these guys are looking a bit more excited than they've looked in the past few years. So,
yeah, definitely.
And he's obviously a big part of that.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. So, a certificate, don't worry. They are getting it. They're going to get one with our faces on it. So, Julius Randle, welcome to the first edition of the Mid-Season Awards from the classroom. You've won Most Improved. Well done. I know you're proud. That's up there with the All-Star jersey. That's a big move. You can add that in your contract next year. We're now going to drop down, and this is going to be a huge one for whoever wins this. We're now going to go to Rookie of the Year. I'm sure this is the first thing they can even think about. When they wake up in the morning and go, I wish I win this. So, JP, this is your category, so over to you.
Well, when it comes to Rookie of the Year, it's a shame that 2 of my picks come from teams that are on losing records. So those 2 teams, they definitely need me on a 10-day contract. It's a no-brainer, really.
Mate, if I need wins, you're not my player.
And Simmons
I'd actually rather build a statue. I'd rather build a statue on the edge of the free because that's all you, or on the edge of the arc because all you do is stand still and hit screens. I can get someone to do that.
So one of my options, we're going to go with Tyrese Halliburton for the Sacramento Kings. Again, we can call that a sleeper because the Kings are, I think, they're 15-24, which is a pretty dreadful record. Especially with being in the West as well. It's hard, but what can you do, eh? So Tyrese is averaging about 12 points this season. And I think one of the main points of Rookie of the Year as well is the impact you have on your team. Not just necessarily as an individual, but you can see around you what you add to the team. You know what I mean? Like, especially the Kings. I know they're a losing team and they've been like that for a few years. But it seems like when Tyrese is in the lineup, the effort of the guys around him, the other four, is increasing, and his 3-point percentage is up there. I think he's on like 43% from free. So he's definitely a guy to look out for the future. And I think GMs across the league are going to be like, he can be a piece in a big three one day, and that's definitely what I've looked for in these three options. So Tyrese Halliburton is option 1. Then go to option 2, and I'm going to be a bit controversial when talking about this guy. It's Anthony Edwards. I've spoke about him highly in the few episodes that we've put on, and to me, at the moment, he is a better version of Zion Williamson. To me, there's no question about it because he's shooting a better percentage from free. He's got a better drive than Zion. He attacks the basket at a better rate than Zion. And I think the impact he has on the Timberwolves, despite having, I think, one of the worst records in the league, his impact on a team is undoubtedly huge. Now, for me, if I'm looking in the next 3 to 4 years and I'm looking at Zion or Anthony Edwards, I'm thinking now that I can make a big three, but the one that I'm going to build around is Anthony Edwards. Because he's got the build of Zion, he's got the build of LeBron. He attacks the basket. The other day, he got 6 threes against Portland. I'm telling you now, he's going to be better than Zion. I'm putting it out there now. I'm just seeing the faces, and everyone looks a bit shocked.
Yeah, I'm waiting for option 3 because with that shout, anything can come next. Like, I might be in for the run in here. Like
Ben Simmons might be there.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Jason Tatum's still only like 19, isn't he?
I think you've pretty much all made up your minds with option 3 when I say it, and it's the guy from Chino Hills in LaMelo Ball. Talk about entertainment a lot on this chat, and he brings that to the Charlotte Hornets. His 3-point percentage, however, isn't the best. He's at about 38%. Again, he's shooting about. He's averaging. Let's have a look. 15 points a game. At 19, I'm thinking, that it's one for the future. He can improve on that, and he can make the Hornets a good team. At the moment, again, they're the only team on a winning record, but slightly. I think it's like 20 and let me have a look. I've got it at 20 and 18. So it's not the best record, but it's a winning record out of the 3. I don't know if you. Yeah, I'm not sure if you take that winning record when it comes to Rookie of the Year. I think when it comes to the 3, it's about their importance to a team. I'm actually going to go with Anthony Edwards as my pick.
Okay.
Do you know what? I'll jump in on that one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go.
I've watched Anthony Edwards play recently, and touching on the other guys, LaMelo Ball's come in and made a great importance and stuff like that. His assists are high. I think he's averaging 18, 6 and 6, I think I saw earlier, which is fantastic as a rookie. And there's no denying that he's probably leading the race in terms of going for it. But I'm actually going to go with you on this one, JP. I'm going to disagree with your statement in terms of he's built like LeBron, he's built like Zion. He's another version of Zion. There isn't versions of Zion. Zion Williamson is Zion Williamson. There isn't another Zion Williamson. We've not seen another one. We're not going to see another one for a while. He's his own player. And what he does to people on the floor, I don't think you can compare to. He's a big bully, and he's a kid himself.
Can I just sorry to interrupt, but can you see where the debate of his triple threat is better than Zion's?
Yes, I completely. No, don't get me wrong. This is where I'm agreeing. As you said, he dropped 6 threes overnight. His percentages are good, and also is exciting to watch. He's a player that I think a lot of what you do a Rookie of the Year is based on excitement and And it's the same with Ja Morant last year. Ja Morant brought this just insane energy to the game. And I don't look at LaMelo Ball the same way I look at Anthony Edwards and go, you've got that energy, you've got that X factor. So for that, I'm actually going to agree with you and back your vote for Anthony Edwards on that one.
I'm
I'll go controversial with you.
I'm going to jump in. So I'm going to stick with just over the rookie of the year thing first. I like Halliburton. I'm a big fan. I think I might have said his name wrong, but what? He ain't getting it. He ain't getting a letter, so he ain't going to know the show. He ain't getting a certificate, so I don't care. My thing with Anthony Edwards, at the start of the year, I was so undersold on him going into the season. And me and Matt had our chat around at the start of the year, and we were both like, I don't get it. I don't see it. And that was prior to the league starting. We just didn't get it. We just thought it was one of those years where, in a normal year, if Wiseman plays more college games, Wiseman's out and out number one pick. Like, that was how we were seeing it at the time. I then tuned in to watch Edwards, and I went, Wade become 19 again. I watch Anthony Edwards and see Dwayne Wade. I see that player, and I look at him and go, the reason I fell in love with Dwayne Wade when I first started watching basketball in 05, 06, that year when they won it, I look at Anthony Edwards the same way. And I think he's got the same path that Dwayne Wade had. And I think the only downside to him, he was drafted to Minnesota. That's literally the only downside. I think I'm so bought. I'm so high on the Anthony Edwards train. Don't get me wrong. However, to come out with he's better than Zion Williamson is unbelievable, because I've heard your points, all right? Because we're now comparing to, like, we sat on this program, on this whatever we call it, I'm calling it a program, channel, you name it, and we had a debate between, does Zion outperform Giannis? And we're talking about Zion being 3-4 inches smaller than Giannis, the two-time reigning MVP. And then now you're going to throw in a two guard to compare to Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson is the epitome of basketball now has no positions. Because a guy at 6'6" is dominating the paint. We're now seeing Zion's got handles. Yes, we all seen players have their moments from three. Anthony Edwards dropped 6 for 6 against Portland. Let's go back to Zion's first game in the league. He dropped 6 for 6 from three in his first game in the league. So I look at Zion. He's a top 10 player in the league right now.
Nah, I have to disagree.
He's in that bracket. He's in that bracket because look at the All-Star game. Like, there's some dodgy picks in that All-Star. We get it. Like, you go Bears. I don't get it. Right, top 10 might be me just getting carried away. Right, that might just be getting carried away.
It's like he's so much shade coming up for Gobert. On the next feature, I've got so much shade coming up for Gobert. Don't worry.
You make me a fan of Gobert.
Like, but you to say he's better. Anthony Edwards, as much as I love him, is still best player on his team.
No, he's
When D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns are fit, Anthony Edwards is third player, third option. Zion Williamson walks into that team and is the number one option. It's really easy to look good and even amazing on a crap team.
No, I get that. I understand that. I understand in terms of, as I said, they're ranked 9 and 31. Maybe he does look good, just he stands out on that crap team. But
what are they on? What's their record?
9 and 31.
They've won 9 games.
9 games, yeah, but
they've won. JP, he's won 9 more games.
What can you do as a rookie? What can you do? Like I get that. If we're saying that, then there's only one in our lifetime that's ever going to be in a winning record, and that's LeBron. LeBron, as a rookie, can only change, you can only do so much as a rookie to change a whole franchise, right?
And Zion did.
And Zion's he's not.
He played 20 games his rookie year, they changed the rule for him. He played 20 odd games. They made it.
Yeah, but I don't rate it. I think still to this day, Zion still hasn't lived up to the hype that everyone was still going on about.
He hasn't. His bar was so high. I get that. However, he's jumped to it and got really close, And do you know what? He's looked at Anthony Edwards, and he's an ant. He's lived up to his nickname. Zion Williamson's looking at Anthony Edwards.
He's not touched that bar because one. He's not touched that bar because one, the Pelicans are not going to make the playoffs.
And 9 for the Minnesota. They won 9 games.
But I look at a rookie. And what he's doing in the league, and I think, going forward, I'd rather have him than Zion. It's as simple as that. That's what. Listen, if I'm a GM, when we have this episode about a GM, I would take Anthony Edwards on my team any day of the week.
So then this is why you'd be Michael Jordan of GMs. Just awful.
So that's my Anthony Edwards. As a rookie, I'm very high on the Zion Williamson chat. I'm very not impressed. And with LaMelo, I'm a huge LaMelo. I was nearly going to say his surname. I was about to be like, I'm a huge Ball fan, and leave it at that, which I thought not going to do. I mean, Lonzo, LeVar. I'm a fan of all of them. Even D'Angelo. I know he's not an NBA talent, but I'd like to see him come over to England and play. Very high on that. I think that'd be a great opportunity. But LaMelo, I'm very high, and I think anyone as a rookie to be leading all rookies in points, assists, steals, rebounds, that's unreal. There's not many that do that. And I know we mentioned LeBron there. Even LeBron, I don't buy, in terms of rookie of the year, I don't buy records, like the team record. So my argument about Anthony Edwards with the 9 wins, he's won 9 in his career. Okay, it's only about him compared to Zion. But in rookies, you can't, because that's not what the team built around. Like LeBron's team didn't make the playoffs his rookie year. He won.
There's a reason they get the best rookies, and that's because they've got the worst records. It's no secret. That's how the game works.
No, I get you. And but LaMelo Ball to be leading everything like that can't be, like, and that is also when he did games at the beginning, and also he's got like 3 other guards in front of him on his team anyway, like Terry Rozier, who I'm now also very high on because of Corey and Wayne and JP's sort of comments over before. You also have Devontae Graham, who was a high opportunity for most improved last year or the year before. And you got Gordon Hayward, who they've paid a load of money for. And I put LaMelo Ball as currently a better prospect than those 3 for the Charlotte Hornets to win. But so for my vote, and it is only purely down to someone leading all of those categories, LaMelo Ball. So that's my vote. Wayne, over to you.
Let's see. I knew it would be these two. I've been trying to fight this debate. Like who's better and who's that. I've went through different avenues, as in like who's more entertaining to watch and stuff, and I still don't know. And I wasn't sold on Anthony Edwards, and I didn't like LaMelo because of just the hype and stuff like that. But I've grown to like both of them. And JP, what the hell did you just say, man?
Listen, I said it was going to be controversial. I'm telling you now. Just watch. We'll look back in this in 5 years' time, and I'll be like, I told you so.
I think we've lost complete sight of what this whole category was about. We're now just kind of going on. We're talking about completely different.
I'm dropping the bomb.
That's how controversial a statement is, that we're not even talking about the same thing we were talking about anymore.
I don't mean to stray away. I understand that Zion hasn't touched his potential, but his potential is so much higher than everyone.
He's still averaging 25 plus points a game, by the way.
Exactly.
He's not even played 100 games yet.
And
he's doing that.
But we're talking about rookies. We're talking about rookies. That's the whole point. Like the way I see it, we're talking about rookies and the potential that they can fill. And I'm telling you now, the sky is high for Anthony Edwards, regardless of him being on a losing team, right? Regardless of that, if we take Anthony Edwards, and we put him in that Pelicans team, he's averaging Zion numbers. I'm telling you, it's as simple as that. As a two guard, he's averaging 25 points a game on that Pels team. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Put Zion in the Minnesota Timberwolves. How many points is he averaging?
I still think probably similar numbers. Similar numbers because of Cat and D'Angelo. I think it'll be similar numbers.
Okay, cool.
I personally don't think obviously between the 3 of them, Zion, D'Angelo, and Cat, the rock would be shared evenly. I don't think Tom mentioned, he'd be first choice, but I still think Cat would run that team. I still think Cat would have more of a say than Zion. I know obviously Zion's younger. I get that. I get all of that, and he would, but I just don't see him being first option. I really don't.
Look,
Maybe
Zion,
I'm being too
Zion-
harsh on Zion, but I think because he was so overhyped to me personally, and he hasn't fulfilled that potential. I get that he's still fresh in the league somehow. What is this? His like second to third season? Like, it's just I just don't see it.
His second and his first season, he played a quarter of the
He
season.
played a quarter. I get it, and the injury, maybe the injury's still hindering him from that year. But I don't see it, and I'm not on that bandwagon. I'm not.
I'm not sold on Zion yet. Yeah, so I agree with you in that. However, he is unstoppable. Like, give him the ball, and you're not stopping him from getting to the paint and scoring. There's no one in the league right now who can stop him from getting to the paint. You know that. And being able to do that at any given moment, that makes you more dangerous than Cat, who's he's a very, very good player. Top 5 big, D low. He's a very good player. It puts them above everything, above them two. But back to the subject in hand, I believe that Anthony Edwards is going to be winning the Rookie of the Year, and the reason why is like Melo's numbers stand out because he's in a better team. You can average more assists. Like, it's easier to get points because you've got other players on the court who can get their own points, who can do other things. So it means like they're going to be guarding them tighter. So he's more free. Like, look at the threes he's been making. A lot of them have been really uncontested because they don't really believe he's going to make the 3A, and the other people to guard and stuff like that. So that's why you can see him playing more freely and stuff like that. But like, yeah, like even saying that Anthony Edwards, I feel like he's just a better player than Melo, like in pretty much every category. Besides the assist, I feel like Anthony Edwards he's gonna have a better career than Melo, and that's no knock on Melo. I think they're gonna have great careers, both of them.
Sorry, yeah. So you go on Anthony Edwards, Wayne, yeah?
Yeah.
So Anthony Edwards, you are going to get a certificate, and you're also going to get a written apology from JP, because I've got my laptop here. And I'm just going to read something out to you, okay? And I'm not going to tell you who it is because both these players have started in their rookie year the same amount of games, okay? Which is quite lucky. We're talking about it, and they both start the same amount of games. So this person started 24 games, okay? Hang on, let me get him. 24 games. He started 23, and the other one started 24, averaging 16 points a game, assists 2.5, rebounds 4. Okay. The other one, that's rookie year. It's good rookie numbers. Okay. The other rookie, okay, and this is on Basketball Reference. Okay, they have everything. They're awesome. Okay. The other one started 24 games rookie season. He averaged 22.5 points. Just under 6.5 rebounds, so 6.3 rebounds, assists 2. And this other stat, in his first 15 games of his career, he scored 362 points. Only 3 other players in NBA and ABA history has done that. Who are you picking right now? Off of those 24 starts in rookie year?
No. The convo was right. The convo was today, and you said before the episode, right? Base it off, obviously, what's happened this season. Now, basing off this season, I'm looking at Zion playing this season, and I'm looking at Anthony Edwards playing this season. Yeah, I get they're playing 2 different positions. I get that as well. I'm not looking at Anthony Edwards rebounds. I'm telling you now, right? I'm looking at their upside. I'm not saying that Anthony Edwards is playing better than him right now, but I'm looking at their upside. The upside, right? Look. The bar was set high for Zion. He hasn't reached it, in my opinion. He's nowhere near it. The bar wasn't set as high because obviously, Anthony Edwards, there wasn't that talk of him being the next generation wonder kid like there was on Zion. And he surpassed everything that I thought that he would be, right? As a 2 guard, I thought he surpassed everything. Then I now look at Anthony Edwards and I think, all right, going forward, if you had another big star around you, your team is getting somewhere. That's the way I see it. And I don't see Zion, because the talk around Zion was, the point was he can lead a team to X, Y, and Z. And I still get it. I still get, he's young. I get it. But I don't ever see him reaching that potential. And I think that Anthony Edwards is going to surpass the potential that Zion had.
How have we managed to take a conversation about Rookie of the Year and turn it into an argument about something that is not at all relevant from an extremely bold and, quite frankly, incorrect opinion?
He's rattled me.
Yeah, I've lost sight of what we're talking about. I'm ready to scrap.
I've got a couple of things more I need to add in, or I will not be able to sleep tonight.
All right. So, do you know what JP? This is equivalent of, you know what JP said? It's equivalent of Charles Barkley. You know when they picked the all-time draft thing.
Yeah.
You just chose Allen Iverson over Michael Jordan or LeBron.
Yeah.
But let's say LeBron was young. You just chose Allen Iverson over Michael Jordan.
I've got two things. I've got two things here. All right, I've got two things here. So first of all, put in for, I don't know, a maths higher paper and you get a B because getting an A star is really hard in a maths higher paper. Or if you're putting a maths foundation paper and you get a C, does that mean you're better at maths than the person in the higher paper? No, because it was easier to get a C. Anthony Edwards looks really good right now because no one cares. The other thing, but while you were saying that, I'm thinking, I'm not career-wise comparing Anthony Edwards to this guy, okay? But the numbers in my head started to sort of go, and I thought, oh, hang on, I'm going to have a look at this, okay? This guy won Rookie of the Year his rookie season, and I'm going to tell you his numbers, and you're going to go, that sounds like Anthony Edwards. And then I'll tell you the person, and then you need to go quiet. So, this 16.7 points a game, okay? 6.5 assists a game, and then 6 rebounds a game, okay? As a guard, this guy, in 2014. Anyone want to have a guess who that Rookie of the Year was? No idea, because he's now on the bench for Orlando, Michael Carter-Williams. Okay, those numbers were the exact same as Anthony Edwards, and actually somewhat better. And we're telling him he's better than the guy averaged 22 and a half in his first 24 games.
Listen. The point's been taken out of context. I'm not saying that.
Out of context.
I'm saying, no,
I'm saying, right.
Went,
here's my point. I'm going to keep the living crap out of this point, and I'm going to make it into something different. You've taken an orange and you've beaten it into a brick. That's what you've done.
The point I'm saying is right. I believe that, simple as now, the point I'm making, right, the point I was trying to make about 20 minutes ago is that I'm saying that I believe the upside on Anthony Edwards is greater than the upside.
Your house is made of chocolate and you've left the oven on, mate. You don't know what you're talking about. You're melting.
I feel like,
move on.
Watch, we'll come back to this in 5 years. We'll come back to this in 5 years.
How do you feel? You've ruined everyone's day.
It's fine.
You've ruined everyone's day.
I feel like Stephen A. Smith, and you're Max Kellerman right now. Like, Andre Iguodala. That's what.
The only problem I have,
I'm going to go to bed writing Zion's numbers on my wall. So thank you for that.
The only flaw I have, the only flaw in my argument is that
he's won 9 games.
No, the only flaw, right, is look at in recent history, look what the Timberwolves have done with their first pick, and look where they are now. They're off the face of the earth. But this is why I see something different when it comes to Anthony Edwards.
But my only caveat to that is, and again, I'm big on Anthony Edwards winning Rookie of the Year. What did New Orleans do with their first pick? Wasted him for 7 years and then traded him to LA to get Zion Williamson.
But then that's all it's and buts. It's all
an
it's and buts.
Outrageous player. He's taking the higher paper. Anthony Edwards taking the foundation paper. There's levels to this.
JP, me and Tom have won more games in a season than Anthony Edwards won right now. And
Listen,
we play about what?
There's only so much you can do as a rookie for your team. Like
we play about 15 games.
It's the Timberwolves. They're in the top 5 draft picks every year for a reason.
Get me in the NBA.
But would you take a rookie? Games. Would you take a rookie dropping you 22 and a half points over a rookie dropping you 16 points?
Of course.
Yeah.
Well,
JP.
Well, yeah, at the time, yeah.
So Zion, you're taking.
Yeah,
Zion.
no, I get that. But then, like, what Anthony Edwards brings as a 2 guard, I feel the upside is better. I just do. I feel the upside is way better. I'm leaving Zion to shoot a 3 from the top of the key. I'm leaving him. I'm not going to guard him out there. Whereas with Anthony Edwards, I'm thinking, yeah, all right then. You have got a serious triple threat.
Have you been accidentally watching Prime Ray Allen and you clicked on to watch Anthony Edwards?
Look, JP, it doesn't matter if Zion can't shoot as well as Anthony Edwards. you can't stop Zion from scoring in the paint.
But you can't do that. You
matter
can't
if
stop
he's
Anthony
psycho.
Edwards at the moment. You can't stop him at the moment. You can't.
I've changed my mind.
I don't think
The
anyone's
player of the year is
trying to
Emmanuel
stop
quickly even. I've changed my mind for rookie of the year. I'm going to pretend Anthony Edwards.
All right, let's move on
Emmanuel
anyway. Let's
Quickley.
move on to MVP. Come on.
Right, next week's episode will just be discussing this outrageous point.
I even voted Zion Williamson as Mr. Franchise, and he agreed with me. Right, anyway, coach of the year, Tom, it's your, Uncle T, it's your section. Get on with this.
No, I'm so rattled right now. I even said this was going to be a quick one. He's rattled me big time. All right, so just to let you know, we're sending certificates to Ben Simmons, Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards so far. I am going to send it to the arena, by the way. I am fully sending these. I don't care what anyone says. Fully getting sent. And if they don't reply, so unfair. All right. So, coach of the year. So it's over to me. Sorry, I've wasted my basketball references pages on. I've just got them back now. So my three here, I think two of them are really obvious, and then my third one is on sort of why I'm more than happy to send a letter to Julius Randle. So I'm going to start with that one. My coach of the year, one of my nominations is Coach Tibbs, and what he's done to New York and the way he's changed New York into a now team. I look in the East and think they're two good decisions away from being a surprise contender. And by two good decisions, I mean by getting a good pro in or drafting well in like a 10th pick. He's changed the culture. New York coaching for the last couple of years has been so sporadic, so unplanned, unorganized that and we've said this so many times, I used to watch them and just think, why am I even watching this? And like, I now put New York as one of my favorite teams to watch. I love what they're doing with Julius Randle. I love what they're doing with Emmanuel Quickley. And I'm also a fan. And this is why Tibbs deserves a lot of credit. Not many teams could have their 8th pick in the draft sit on the bench and not play much. It's not as if Toppin is a young rookie. He's quite an old rookie. I think he's older than like Kevin Knox, who's been in the league 3-4 years already. And he's telling Obi Toppin, look at Julius Randle, look at Nerlens Noel. You want to be them. Okay, you need to learn from them. And that's what he's doing. And I'm all over that. And I'm a fan of how that's going. And I liked what Tibbs to make that team relevant somewhat. And I think what also happened, I put them similar to the England football team. When England go to a tournament, we think, oh, they've won it, they've got a great team, or we think they're rubbish. Knicks fans are the same. They think their team are either amazing or trash. And they're now looking at it going, we've got a young core, we've got a bit about us. There's something to look forward to. So my first options are is Coach Tibbs and the New York Knicks for Coach of the Year. So Tom Thibodeau for my first option, for my first nomination for that. My second one is we're staying in the East and we're going over to Philadelphia 76ers and to my favourite coach I think I've watched over years, and purely down to being a Celtics fan and that 08 team and Doc Rivers. I think what Doc Rivers has done over there, there's no more questions on can Ben Simmons shoot. We don't hear that anymore. He's changed the narrative around Ben Simmons. You are my point guard who's going to drive, who's going to kick, who's going to make layups, dunks, and defend better than anyone else. So what Doc Rivers has done for Ben Simmons, and then also Doc Rivers has tapped into that consistent MVP talent of Joel Embiid. That like Brett Brown, who was there previously, just couldn't get that talent in. He couldn't get Joel Embiid to show it, where Joel Embiid's ego was like, I want to shoot a free. I don't need you to shoot a free. I need you to be the best big in that we've seen in years. And I think Doc Rivers has done that. And also taking over with Daryl Morey and that what they've set up there with getting Danny Green in, Seth Curry, Dwight Howard, which I know we gave Julius Randle that thing, but then I want to see Dwight Howard's block on Julius Randle, by the way.
I did, yeah.
He babied him. Yeah, he babied him. Okay, so Doc Rivers is my second pick there, and then my third pick is Quinn Snyder over at Utah Jazz. There's not many things I like about Utah. Quinn Snyder is one of them. I am a huge fan in what he does. He's got that offense going is unbelievable. And again, this stat. So there's 30 teams in the league, and Utah are the only team in the league that ranks in the top 5 of offensive rating and defensive rating. Like, that's unheard of from a non-championship winning team. And I don't mean going on to win it, as in like a team coming off of a championship or a team being dominant for many years. Like, they've had early exits. They lost to Denver early on in the bubble. And people at the time went, okay, Donovan Mitchell needs to go find somewhere. There was rumors he was going to team up with Tatum and Brown in Boston. And the way Quinn Snyder's got that team playing on both ends, I'm excited to see what Quinn Snyder does going forward. I'm not a fan of Gobert. We know that. I think he's just purely down to being 7 foot. You're in the league. Yes, you probably would score on me. I would probably block you because I don't see what you get much. You're not like, I just don't get it. Being that big, I'm not fan. We can have another topic about that. But Quinn Snyder in himself, he's made Donovan Mitchell I think now a top level player in that bracket for someone who's only been in 4 years. And again, I put Donovan Mitchell as on that Dwayne Wade path of, there's something special with that guy. So Quinn Snyder is my 3rd nomination. So just to recap, we've got Tom Thibodeau, Quinn Snyder, and Doc Rivers. Come to you. Who's your take on those 3? I'll give my point at the end of who I'm going for. So JP, Quinn Snyder, Doc Rivers, or Coach Tom Thibodeau.
I'm going to make it short so I don't say anything controversial again. Doc Rivers for me, and the big talking point for me is the fact that Doc Rivers, as you mentioned, has tapped into that potential of the two-way play between Simmons and Embiid. I think the fact that they can actually play on the same team together now, and that sort of rumor and that talk has gone out the window. For me, they're a dark horse in the East. Despite being a big favourite last year as well in the bubble, I think that the 76ers are the team to look out for, especially if the Bucks come up against the 76ers. I think the fact that Doc Rivers has got that.
Isn't Doc Brown? He's a comedian, isn't he?
Comedian rapper, yeah.
But I was getting Brett Brown mixed up. With,
No, but like I just automatically had that guy just pop up into my head. I'm like,
he's nervous now. Look at Michael Sheen. He's nervous.
I don't say anything out of line now. Do you know what I mean? So Doc Rivers, he's got that experience of taking teams to the final, and I think the way that the 76ers are going to play in the playoffs are going to be different to actually the way they're playing now, and I think it's going to be there's going to be an increased emphasis on Embiid and on Simmons to take the load for the team. And I see them going far, and I see them going further than the Bucks. I'll make that statement now. For me to win Coach of the Year, it's going to be Doc Rivers with the 76ers.
Good shout. I'm a fan. Wayne, coming down to you, and I think I know yours.
Yeah, I've got the Utah Jazz coach. Forgot his name already because the Utah Jazz. Quinn Snyder. Yeah, I've got him because they're playing they've been playing good basketball for a couple of seasons now, like really, really good team basketball. And, I was a bit surprised at their record. I didn't know they're going to be this good. Like you said, that they're the top 5 in defense and offensive. That's really great. And they're doing it with Donovan Mitchell not playing how everyone expected him to play this season. He's not having a bad season, but everyone expected him to have a better season and stuff. So, they have the best record in the NBA, while Donovan Mitchell is not playing the best basketball he can. That'd be what people projected. So yeah.
Quinn Snyder. It's one for Quinn Snyder, one for Doc Rivers. Corey, what about you?
This is a hard one for me because there's no secret that Doc Rivers is a great coach. And I feel like he's got the pieces now that he didn't necessarily have in LA, despite he should have done better with that LA team. I now look at this Philly team and think they're more complete as a unit with players like we talk about Philly and we talk about Embiid and we talk about Simmons, but we sleep on a lot of players. Like they've got Danny Green there who knows how to win, and they've got players like Tobias Harris who's putting in serious shifts, and Seth Curry who's a serious shooter, same as his brother. Like that's obviously the whole family. And there's a lot of pieces that Philadelphia we sleep on. And I think my only comparison point is that Quinn Snyder's coaching a team that were never expected to do that well. If Utah Jazz are the type of team, if they finish 5th in the West, you'd be like, oh, okay, like they've done all right. Where if they finish top, then it exceeded all expectations. And based on the season so far, I think if you ask me at the end of the season, my answer would be Doc Rivers. But if you're asking me for the season so far, then my vote goes to Quinn Snyder.
Yeah, so that's 2 for Quinn Snyder, 1 for Doc Rivers, and coming into me. You ended up there is exactly how I'm feeling. I think if you ask me at the end of the year, I'm probably going to say Doc Rivers. Right now, what Quinn Snyder's done in Utah, I'm going to go and give it to Quinn Snyder. I agree. Doc Rivers is Hall of Fame coach, straight up. Yeah. Okay. And I think this Philly team are now mentally strong enough to deal with it. And I think they're mentally strong enough to deal with Doc Rivers. But as Wayne said, Utah playing great basketball for the last couple of years, and Quinn Snyder's the reason for that. So Coach of the Year for us, mid-season awards goes to Quinn Snyder. We'll send it over, and we'll also send a letter detailing why you should not play Rudy Gobert and why I should fit that bill. Well, Wayne, I don't think we've got enough time to go into why. But Corey, we're going to come to you. So for the final mid-season award of MVP for this first half of the year, over to you.
So I'm going to keep it pretty short and sweet. Two of my answers are basically solely based around destroying Rudy Gobert. But season so far, like again, if you ask me at the end of the season, there's not going to be a season where we don't talk about LeBron. But currently, he's not going to make it into my 3 for player that MVP of the season so far. So my first guy, I'm going to go with the guy that I voted for MVP earlier on in the shows, and I'm going to stick to Nikola Jokic. What he's doing, he's taking Nuggets basketball and putting it on his back, and he's doing it with style. It's not what people want to see. It's not the basketball that people love, but he's averaging 27, 11, and 8. He's shooting 56% from the field, and he's 41% from 3. He's a lights-out shooter. He can shoot from anywhere. And going up against former Defensive Player of the Year in Rudy Gobert, all he did was take 2 steps back. Rudy Gobert realised he can't defend anywhere that isn't the paint. And I think Jokic dropped 34 on him that game. And then second one is Joel Embiid. Obviously, he's going to be out for a week or 2 weeks because of his knee. Luckily, it's not anything serious. He's averaging 29.9, so I'll put him down for 30 there. 11 and 3. He's on the defensive end as well. He's putting in his graft. He's getting his shot blocks. Him and Ben Simmons alongside each other are protecting that paint like it was their child, and he's working towards being a bit more of a 2-way player. But he's the type of player you want in your paint and in their paint. He's again did the same thing on Rudy Gobert. Bearing in mind he's at least 11 feet. He dropped 40 and 19 rebounds on arguably the best rebounder in the league and a former Defensive Player of the Year. And we were talking about earlier with Ben Simmons being Defensive Player of the Year and stuff like that, no one dropping 40 on him. Well, he went and dropped 40 on Gobert. So there's my second vote. And then I think this is one that everyone would be expecting. And at the beginning of the season, I wasn't. But as I said, I base mine on the last 20 games, not necessarily the last 40. And for me, James Harden is averaging 25, 8, and 11. He's upped his D this year, and yeah, I'm not feeling Dame. Sorry, Harden's upped his game this year. He looks like he's enjoying playing at Nets way more than he was enjoying at Houston. Every night at Houston, he sort of had to go out and drop 50 or 60, and people went, "Oh, James Harden went and dropped 50 or 60 again." Whereas now he could drop 25 points, but he'll drop you 15 assists, and everyone's like, "Wow, James Harden's that good." And if you actually just sit down and break down his game and watch the things he does. The way he passes the ball, the window he gets the ball into is so pinpoint, so accurate. And to be honest, I can see him being the main man. I know KD's obviously the second best to do it at the moment, but watching James Harden's just like, if you don't love basketball, watch James Harden, you will love basketball. So he's my third guy.
Okay, Corey, I'm going to come back to you at the end for your final pick, if it comes to a decider. Wayne, coming down to you. Would you take of those? Who you taking as your pick?
They're really good pick, but I'm gonna pick Jokic because his numbers do stand out a lot, and the reason why he's my MVP is because his numbers are even better than last year. Last year he only averaged 19 points, and now he's upped it to 27. That's like a big improvement. He's the other guy snubbed for the most improved, but yeah, I think Jokic is gonna win that. That will be my MVP right now.
A good pick. So one for Nikola Jokic. JP, I'm coming to you.
Again, similar to what Wayne said, all three picks are good, but I'm actually going to go with Embiid. Somehow someone, Doc Rivers, has tapped into that potential that we talked about. And, I look forward to watching this guy in the playoffs now. Touch wood that he comes back from this injury. He's only off for a week or two. But again, as a big man now, he's becoming more and more dominant. We talk about Jokic improving his numbers, but Embiid's all-round game, his IQ, his floor awareness, commanding the team while he's on the floor. I think that's definitely boosted as well in terms of him becoming an all-round player, and I think that Embiid gets my vote.
Like I say, I think Corey is a hell of a pick because I could make it really hard for you. However, the James Harden one did take me by surprise, and off camera, you guys won't see it, but as in like people watching it won't say, I was tapping my watch thinking he was going to go Damian Lillard. However, as soon as you said James Harden, I reacted like, what? And then sat here and went, well, actually, it makes sense because I reacted and then realised actually it makes sense. And I also think there's two reasons. One reason why I think he could get it, I've not seen him sit many games. It doesn't seem James Harden takes a break. And that's a guy who looks unfit, but always playing heavy minutes and heavy load of the basketball. And did anyone see his play with DeAndre Jordan against the Pistons? Like the give and go and then the alley-oop?
Yeah.
Like the bit is a joke. I'm a huge fan of that. But the reason that I can't give it to James Harden is for the fact he has got so much talent around him. Like it just... Like, I can't say he's the most valuable player when I think if they took him out, they're still doing really well. But that's my argument there. And then what I'm to see is I like to have two bigs in this talk. And I don't know, my pick is going with my heart over my head. And my pick is going to be Jokic because we've had friends say, the game, and I'm not saying I can shoot like Jokic, but the floor awareness, I would love to say that that's what I do. The speed. That's a hell of a race.
Might be a while.
but that's what I mean. So for me, my heart's taking Jokic. However, I completely understand that Embiid is unstoppable at this moment in time. So my vote's going to Jokic. Corey, over to you to give the final verdict and who wins that.
Well, I'm glad you said that. And you kind of took it out of my hands a little bit because I went Jokic earlier on in the season. I love him. And to be honest, he's got to be probably one of my favourite players in the NBA currently. But I really genuinely do not know who to pick. Like, I genuinely am so on the fence. I could not pick. If I close my eyes and pick any one of those three, and to be honest, come the end of the season, if you put LeBron and Dame in that, I would close my eyes and go, that one. Because they're so, MVP is about what you're doing compared to everyone else in the league, but also how important you are to your team. And that Nuggets team is not achieving anywhere near as what they're achieving without him. Whereas I feel like Philadelphia have Embiid's injured, and Philadelphia is still winning games. So they're being coached well, they're being managed well. And Embiid, don't get me wrong, like if anyone probably deserves it right now, it is Embiid. Oh God! Right, I'm going Embiid.
Hey, so Joel Embiid wins it.
After all of that, I'm going Embiid.
I also feel on another note, Joel Embiid would appreciate the letter. I also feel that.
Could he read? Does he seem like the type of dude that can read?
Oh my God!
You know what I mean, though, like.
Well, no, I don't know what you mean.
You see, the thing is.
Dumb, doesn't he? Like,
hey, we're about to send him the MVP.
I don't think he's going to mind. I really don't. His £40 million a year is shitting all of my £40 a week. So I don't think he cares, mate. I've seen two paint by numbers in my room. He's probably got £3 million piece of art in his front room. He doesn't even know who did it. Mum did those. He's not going to care, in my opinion, mate. Some short, fat white kid who can't even play basketball. I think he'll be all right.
Wayne, what are you going to say?
I was gonna say, like, on to touch on James Harden. I feel like James Harden is one of these. He's now reached the like the level of play where his numbers are always gonna scream off the like. These numbers are always gonna scream, but no one's gonna really pay attention to them because they just expect it from him.
I agree. In the sense that
he's got
once you're in a big team, numbers don't mean anything now.
It's not even about being a big team. I feel like he's just one of those players. He's in that LeBron, KD kind of like echelons where like, big words. Where he's just
Spell
like,
next mate, I'm not saying it. Trust me, I haven't got enough screen wipes for that.
Where like I feel like now, like since joining Brooklyn, people really realize how good James Harden is. Whereas like he doesn't actually need the ball that much, or he doesn't need to score 30, 40, 50 points to really dominate. Like it just shows how great he is. So like for the next couple of seasons, no one's really going to be paying attention to how good he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can't help but feel that if Harden's stats went from 25, 8 and 11 to the second half of the season being 27, 9 and 11, then we're having a different conversation as well. I feel like those little tweaks and especially with how far they're going to go, if they don't, then it's going to be a major upset. So I think it kind of works for him in the sense of he's got such a powerhouse around him that he should do well, but it also is kind of detrimental to his argument of MVP because anyone on that team can sit and they're still going to go and win a game by 20.
Yeah, and I think that's why I struggle to put them in it, but I get the reason. So they are our mid-season picks and award winners. So Ben Simmons for Defensive Player of the Year, Julius Randle for Most Improved, Anthony Edwards for Rookie of the Year, Quinn Snyder for Coach of the Year, and Joel Embiid for MVP. So that's what we're going to do. I am going to get little medals as well. You know, the little cheap ones you can get. I'm going to send them with a certificate, like a proper like primary school, like well done, like award.
Yeah, like the red, blue, and white stripes.
Yeah,
like the little tin. Yeah, I like that. I've got a few.
You know what Martin done for us for like when we do our annual MVP he got us watches.
Yeah, no, he didn't do that my year, but he did that as in like he didn't do the year I actually won load of stuff. But
I got put forward for MVP every year and never won it. How mad's that?
Because we were doing the counting, that's why.
And I know it was me that put me forward as well, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
They will get those in the post. Hopefully, they actually. I don't know why. In my head, I've envisioned them getting it and like wearing it to a press conference. And going, "What's that?" And then they shout us out. That's what I'm happening. I feel Joel Embiid.
Dream big.
Mate, you got to dream big. So that's come to that point. End of that topic. We're going to sort of close up on our picks for this week. JP, I know I saw him earlier, but can you remind us of our games we're now looking at for this week? Okay, and over to you.
Yes, so the first game we're looking at early Saturday morning, it's going to be Portland Trailblazers against the Dallas Mavericks. Getting a bit tongue-tied tonight for some reason.
You're dropping some random things out. That's why.
So in the past, when these two have matched up, Luka's missed some big-time clutch shots. I think the opposite is going to happen this time. He's actually going to make the clutch shots. Him and Porzingis seem to be on fire at the moment. I see that combo working well against the bigs of Portland, and I actually see Dallas taking the W here.
So JP going with Dallas. Wayne, over to you.
It's tight, but I think I'm gonna pick Portland. You know, I feel like Damian Lillard he's not gonna let them lose. You know, and if it's a close game, my money is always gonna be on Dame.
I'm gonna go before Corey. I'm gonna go Dame as well. I think the level of play he's playing at, and I also think Melo again. I don't know why. Whenever we preview Portland, Melo doesn't need to do much, but in my head, he's going to do something. And again, it won't surprise me if Melo gets 24 points in this game, something around that. So I'm going Portland as well. Corey,
I got a little bit scared last night because I thought in my head I knew what I wanted to pick, and this has chopped and changed a lot of times until today when I sat down and went, I'm backing this because, as JP said, they're playing together so well. I've agreed with you on everything tonight, other than that stupid comment. But like every like pick you've made, I've agreed with.
Canoodling.
And I'm going for the Mavs, yeah, because they've been resting. Porzingis has rested a few times.
Canoodling, did you say?
Yeah.
I said colluding earlier. Canoodling.
That's what.
And that's like you do when you go camping.
I don't know.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, sorry, Corey.
But yeah, so I'm going to back the Mavs, and especially after Dame's 50 last night, I don't see a repeat of that coming again in this game. So he'll probably drop 60 now. I said that, but I'm going to go with the Mavs. Backing the Mavs.
So we got 2-2 split on that. Myself and Wayne go for Portland. Corey and JP going for Dallas. Be nice to see. So that's Saturday morning. Did you say, JP?
Yes, that's I believe 2 a.m. UK time.
Yeah, sweet. All right, what's the next game?
Next game's on a Sunday. I believe it might be on Sky because it's like one of them 6:30, 8:30 games.
I won't be watching.
Well, if I'm catching you up, mate, so I think you need to be watching.
Yeah, I won't be watching for the reasons the guy on Sky, but that's another show.
So that it's going to be the LA Clippers against the Charlotte Hornets. Now, for me, this is probably one of the most difficult ones we've had for like 2-3 weeks, because Kawhi doesn't seem to be playing up to the standard that I need him to play in order to back the Clippers. Ever since I backed the Clippers to beat the Bucks, they haven't really been playing that great since that point. LaMelo, as we mentioned earlier, he's a great facilitator. Hayward seems to be getting back to that all-star level, and I'm actually going to take the Hornets to beat the Clippers. I think LaMelo's going to have a big game. I think LaMelo's going to drop 15 points. He's going to have a double-double. I'm going to have it, double-double for LaMelo Ball in points and assists.
Nice. So you're going Charlotte to take that. Corey, coming to you. You backing him as well again?
I spoke about this the other day, and I said at some point there's going to be a turning point in the Clippers season, and they're going to finish strong, as both LA teams I think are going to do. And I feel like this is going to be one of those games where we really see Clippers flex their defensive muscles, and I reckon they're going to restrict and strangle Hornets, and I'm going to give Clippers the win.
Clippers. Wayne, what about you?
My heart is telling me Charlotte, but my brain is telling me Clippers. I'm going to pick the Clippers. I feel like I've got to put faith in Kawhi and Paul just to pull it off, man. Like, I've got to put faith in them. But I'm not feeling confident. Like with what JP's been saying, they've not been playing really well. But
is it your heart or head that says go Bear? So whichever one that is, don't follow that one. Is it? Yeah.
You know what? You know what? Have a break, because you've had a stinker of a show today. Like Zion.
All right, so just to cover there, JP's on the Charlotte Hornets, Corey and Wayne on LA. I completely agree with JP in terms of since I picked the Clippers to beat the Bucks, I've just been off of the Clippers. However, their firepower when they get clicking, and it's unpredictable at the moment. They go 10 games of looking unreal, 4 or 5 games in a row of looking quite average. But I'm going to take LA. And it's the same reason I took took Lakers to beat Indiana last week. The Lakers 2 nights before, or the night before, and I think that's horrible for most teams. And I'm not sure they're going to be able to come back from both. They might pick up one win, but I'm going to back the LA Clippers on that game there. So for me, I'm backing the Clippers. So that's my salary back in Clippers. JP is taking the Hornets. There could be a huge swing from this week. Let's put it this way, because myself and Wayne have backed the same teams, and let's say we get 2-0. That puts me 2 ahead of you, JP. Or on the flip side, JP, you taking that, you're going to go 2 up on me, and Corey's going to catch up and maybe take 1 game underneath me or so forth. So it's going to be an interesting week. Boys, thank you once again. Corey, Wayne, can we just say goodbye to JP, because I've just texted CW. He's on his way in for the next couple of weeks. After I cannot believe what I've heard tonight. to the point where I think next week we might just have no topic and just bring that up again. And Wayne, do you know what? We'll have like a heart-to-heart session.
Open court
Session.
I love that.
Bring your topic.
Let's have
So,
it.
JP, you're not here. CW's in.
Yeah. You have a topic.
Bring your topic. I don't care what it is. Bring your topic. We didn't bring it up.
No, you do worry what it is, because if it's about Gobert, we don't want to hear it. So.
I don't understand what the problem is with Gobert, guys.
Bring it next week. Bring it next week.
All right.
Bring it along with you next week. So, boys, thank you again. Have a great weekend. I will see you later. Get liking, get sharing the post and everything. See you boys later.
See ya.
See you later.